Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's about time, am I right? Because, Spider-Man No Way Home was a huge success. But here we are 4 years later, and the next movie hasn't even started filming yet. Obviously, they're going to start filming soon-ish. I believe it's about 3 months they're going to start filming. Fingers crossed they can actually make that July release date for next year. Kind of doesn't look super realistic, but I guess we'll see. But I'm very excited for this because, again, I love No Way Home. I love Tom Holland's version of this character. No Way Home, the ending of that set up a really great, grounded, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, obviously, it takes place in between the two Avengers movies, so who knows if it actually will be grounded. It probably won't be, unfortunately. But, this could still be fun, and I'm very excited for this. And, as we approach the date of filming to begin, we're going to be hearing more and more updates on this film because we really don't know anything, especially like in these last 4 years. There's been so many conflicting reports on stories and what was going to go down, from full-on multiverse with Tobey and Andrew coming back to Ghost Rider to a female villain, to now we have Sadie Sink in here. We still don't know who she's playing. And now I think some more concrete details are starting to form, that are actually being corroborated by multiple sources rather than every source having a different story about this film. So we're going to go ahead and break that down today, particularly talking about the villains for the film and possibly a first look at our brand new Spider-Man suit in the movie as well. So yesterday, apparently there was some sort of Disney marketing conference, particularly focused on merchandise. And they talked about Spider-Man Brand New Day a little bit, which at first I thought was weird because obviously, Sony has the distribution rights to these Spider-Man films, obviously partnered with Marvel Studios, but Sony's the one actually distributing it, so they would be the ones to announce it. That's why they were the ones at CinemaCon that were able to announce the title of Brand New Day. But Disney owns the merchandise rights. So this is something that seems pretty legit that they actually are able to advertise. So they had this promo art of Spider-Man on display at the event, and a lot of people are saying, oh, this is our first look at the brand new suit for Brand New Day. Which, first of all, disappoints me if they're not going with the same suit they ended No Way Home with, because that is a perfect live-action Spider-Man suit. But if this were the new suit, this also looks kind of equally amazing. Like, so comics accurate. The new spider logo on the chest is different. The eyes are bigger. This honestly looks really great. Now, at the same time, it's very likely going to be just a placeholder, because this is also actually just a design from I don't even know what it's originally from, but people have been pointing out that it's been used on other Spider-Man merchandise recently as well. And it does look very comic booky to be live action, but at the same time it looks realistic enough to potentially be a live action image. But yeah, so there's that. Anyway, potentially first look at Spider-Man in this movie. Probably not, probably just a placeholder. But let's talk about some other information that came out at this event as well. So they showed a bit of a sizzle reel featuring Scorpion, Boomerang, and Tombstone as villains. And again, this was also shown at this Disney Blockbuster Consumer Products panel. So, interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's break this down in detail a little bit further. So, Mac Gargan, the Scorpion, thank God, he better be in this movie. It's been said by other scoopers for the longest time now that Michael Mando is in talks to return as this character in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Again, also, it's about time, because obviously that's one of the many MCU post-credit scenes from years ago that just has been completely ignored since it happened. So all the way back in 2017, he said, I got some friends on the outside, and it's set up he's going to be Scorpion. And now, hopefully, finally we have that. It doesn't look like he's going to be the main villain, but any way to get him in here in any shape or form is really exciting to me, especially if it's, seeing how great he was in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. My God, put that on the big screen right now. Tombstone is also very exciting as well. Tombstone is a great character in the comics. Also very nicely used in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Potentially one of the best parts of that show. I really like bringing him in here as well. Again, also not as like a main villain, but at least to showcase Spider-Man fighting some ground level, like multiple threats, which I really like because I've always said I love Spider-Man movies, but I honestly would prefer a live action Spider-Man TV show because Spider-Man I think just works better with more of a villain of the week type situation. So if we can get a sort of a version of that in a movie, even if it's just like a montage of him fighting all these villains, it's gonna be really cool. Or if it's what the rumored plot for the upcoming Superman movie is that they're like Lex Luthor's the main villain, but the film is going to feel sort of episodic and like he'll be going like act 1 he'll be fighting one villain, act 2 he'll be fighting another villain. If they could do something similar to that to Spider-Man in this film, I think that would be a lot of fun. And casting, give me Marvin Crondon Jones. Sony actually originally, when they were doing El Muerto, rest in peace El Muerto, of course, Tombstone was supposed to be the villain of that movie, and they had cast this guy in the role. And so I think it'd be pretty cool to have an actual albino actor in the role of Tombstone. He was great as the main villain in Black Lightning, so to see him on the big screen. Also, he previously voiced Tombstone in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, so to reprise that role in live action, I'd be down for that. Now, Boomerang is the one that really comes out of nowhere here. I'm not complaining. Boomerang's cool, I guess. A very low level, one of the more obscure Spider-Man villains. But hey, again, just like world building, sure, toss him in there. Why not? Also, it's not like they're using Captain Boomerang in the DCU right now. They killed him off in the Suicide Squad. But anyway, this is just a fan cast thing that I saw somebody put out on Twitter, which I would definitely be down for. I'm pretty sure these castings just come out of nowhere, obviously, aside from Michael Mando. But Joel Edgerton as Boomerang, sure. Coleman Domingo as Tombstone, that would also be great casting. Again, it depends on if they want to go with an actual albino actor for Tombstone or a black actor like this, but man, Coleman Domingo would be a badass Tombstone. I would really love that. Now here's some potential more details. This I'm less likely to believe because this is not coming from the event yesterday. This is just a post from Reddit somewhere. Saying that Spider-Man Brand New Day will be set in Battle World after the events of Avengers Doomsday, and reportedly the central plot will be with Mr. Negative as the leader of the New York territory. The movie will have several villains led by Mr. Negative and taking advantage of Battle World's resources. Tom Holland's Spider-Man will wear the black suit to fight him. Now, again, as I mentioned previously, it's been such a back and forth on this film about whether this is going to be set on Battleworld, whether it's going to have multiverse elements, or if it will be grounded and just, again, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, basically. I think, it's weird because obviously this film is set in between the two Avengers films. We still don't know for sure if Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be in Avengers Doomsday or not. This could totally be a prequel to Avengers Doomsday or an Ant-Man and the Wasp situation where it takes place during Avengers Doomsday. But I think the way it's described here makes it sound like, okay, it can be both, where maybe it does take place on Battleworld, but if we're dealing with this New York territory, at least it'll be sort of contained to just be in that area. But then, so it'll still feel like New York, but it does, I suppose, lend itself to other cameos such as Toby and Andrew's return, or potentially if they want to do Sadie Sink playing Toby's daughter, Mayday Parker. Who knows? I think him getting the black suit here would be great because obviously that happened in the Secret Wars comic. So that sounds great, but obviously we got to talk about Mr. Negative. So this has been sort of the narrative for this film for the last month or two. There was a casting call put out that they wanted for the villain of this film to be a middle-aged Asian man. And, there's not there's not many characters like that in Spider-Man's rogues gallery. He's got a huge rogues gallery, but well, most of them are white. So when you get specific like this, it's pretty obvious who it's going to be. So Mr. Negative is a great character. I love him in the PlayStation video games. So to finally see him in live action, I think is great. Making him the main villain of this, great idea. I love that. So that's really exciting to me. And specifically, now Steven Yeun is a fantastic actor. And so he's just been fan cast in this role for years now. But it actually came out a couple days ago that Steven Yeun specifically has interest in playing a role in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I have to assume is this character. And that Marvel Studios also wants him for this role. So it seems pretty likely that Steven Yeun is going to be our Mr. Negative, which, again, I'm very excited about. I love him as an actor. So to see him here would be pretty darn awesome, especially because he originally was supposed to be in Thunderbolts. He was supposed to play Bob, aka Sentry. So to give him, this great role of Mr. Negative in Spider-Man Brand New Day would be just fantastic. But yeah, so we may have just gotten some details on Spider-Man Brand New Day and some of the villains that will be appearing in this film, and sort of, it's going to be in Battle World, but hopefully contained in New York City, in this New York territory. I think that'll be an interesting way of going about doing things. So this gets me excited for it. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this news? Again, just rumors. Take it all with a grain of salt. But for now, it's fun to think about, especially since we don't know much about this movie. But I'm excited. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so like you today on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.